Are you able to see my screen right now? Oh, hello. I think I lost you. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think the call just dropped for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, perfect. We're just gonna here. So I think Dorn Shield was a really good buy this game because she
Okay.
has range, and then because you have TP, you're just trying to look to play like a little safer anyways, and you aren't looking
Yeah.
for too many kills. So I think Dorn Shield was a good choice. But if we're
Okay.
gonna face something like let's say like a Syndra or what's another good example? Let me
Right.
think. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like those kind of matchups, like Doran's Ring is pretty good because you can actually win those pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in the losing matchups, like Zoe, Neeko, Azir, Oriana, those kind of matchups, I think Doran's Shield is really good.
Shield. Okay.
Yeah.
Or Pantheon too.
hmm I think Pantheon Ring's okay because Pantheon, he's gonna want to like fight you close, and then you might want that extra damage for Pantheon. I think you would
I
just
get.
in those kind of situations, you would take Comet and Scorch, and then you'll find it's pretty winning for your side.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me open up that. Okay. So this was really good. I like this trade a lot. If you
Okay.
opened out like this, she kind of messes up by moving up this far because
Yeah.
she's like range versus melee, right? So where she
Yeah.
should be standing, oh my gosh, the pen's huge. uh, nope.
Yeah. Usually the
Yeah.
Nikos usually stand a lot
Yeah.
further. You're
So where
right.
Neeko
Yeah.
should be standing is somewhere around here, but for
Mm.
whatever reason she came up here, so you punished it really well by queuing in like this. This was really good.
Yeah.
You got,
I
I think
creep
you
my
can
way
even
forward.
You could even like continue. Like you have a little bit of Q left here, so you could have even kept facing this direction, and then
Oh,
have a little bit more damage off. But you got what you needed, so and backed off, which is fine.
because sometimes I'm afraid that like I go too deep and then they
hmm
they kite me on the way back, kind of. Not
Yeah,
kite, but like
yeah, it is
you know what I mean?
something worth keeping in mind. So cutting back there
Yeah.
was completely fine.
Yeah. I
This
just
was
get
good too.
too greedy sometimes.
hmm Yeah, that was also good. I like that.
Okay.
Um, Now at this point, so a concept that it's gonna take a little bit of time to learn, but it's like wave management. So here, you don't need to touch the minions so much because you are already gonna get level 2. Like, it's good to last hit these ones, right? Like the ones that are low. But the ones that
Yeah.
are full HP, you don't need to touch too much because you already have, like, the shove going in. Because she has barely touched the
Oh.
wave so far. So you're naturally, like, your minions are gonna push by itself, even if you weren't, like, gonna touch it. So
Okay.
here, we just need to focus on last hitting, and we don't need to hit the minions too much. So this
Oh,
is good. Like,
okay.
what you're doing now here is really good. But
Yeah.
earlier when you're touching the minions, we didn't need to do that. And then this is good, but here I would want you to stand like right here because you're level 2 to her level 1, right? So you should
Oh.
abuse this as hard as you can by standing really aggressively so that she can't walk up at all. She shouldn't be allowed
Oh.
to like be anywhere in your range right here. So
Okay.
you're standing like outside of her range at the moment, but or outside of your
Yeah.
range. But if you stand closer in, then she's forced to back up way this way, especially since she's lost all this HP already, right? Um,
Yeah.
you want to
That
be
makes sense.
like yeah, in her pocket.
In her. Okay, I
hmm
get it.
hmm
Yeah.
Now that she's level 2, we can respect it a little bit more. But at the same time,
Okay.
you've already chunked her out a lot, so you should feel confident that you can fight her a little bit. Yeah. The
Okay.
only thing we need to consider is where the jungler might come from. Like this is
Yeah.
really good. This is like perfect, exactly what we want to see.
And she used her ignite too.
Yep.
She's panicking.
hmm And here, like at this point, we can look to start hitting the wave because what we want to do is we want to put a ward down in on the raptor camp, like we mentioned, right? And
Oh, okay.
here, like slow pushing in doesn't give you too much because she's just like at this point, see how many minions you have, like compared to her, right? So naturally, this is
Yeah.
gonna shove into her turn anyways. So you just want to like completely shove this in and like save the time to kind of like this downtime that you have here where you're just kind of like standing around and you can't do anything against her anyways because she's under the turret. You want to like minimize that by like queuing the minions here, like shoving it into turret as fast as you can so that you can go put a
Oh,
ward down. Yeah.
I get it. So use the Q right here,
Yeah, you want to queue the minions and then go in and then
then
see.
move.
Yeah, and then now you have more time to move, right? So like even here you're hanging around still, but you can just move right away. Um,
Ah,
you can
okay.
where you put a ward is fine, but I think because we're a little short on time, because the if you look at the next minion wave, it's already here, right? So it's
Uh,
already here. Where if the minion wave was here, then the ward you're about to do is fine because you have a lot more time. But because we
yeah.
wasted a little bit of time there, I think just putting a ward right here is fine. You don't need to put it in the
That's
bush.
where you usually put it, right?
Hmm.
I noticed.
Yeah, because the reason why this ward is good is let me just so if you put it here, you get to see oh sorry. You get to see
Oh, I
this
see.
area
Yeah,
like this, right? So you don't
yeah.
get to see what's on this side of the bush, but you don't we don't really care about what's on that side of the bush. Because if he's
I
there, like
see.
it doesn't like no one really cares, right? But if he shows up
Mm,
here, then what we want to see is okay, after he's done finishing this, does he walk this way up to his red? Or does he walk down this way towards me? Right?
yeah.
And that's more important than just seeing him here earlier. So,
Makes sense.
and another
Okay.
thing is if he doesn't do this one and for whatever reason he's like started red and did this, then you might be able to see him come down from this angle too with this.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I like this one, especially if you're short on time. But if you have a ward already in the river, then this one can be really good because
Oh,
then you get
okay.
to yeah, because then your both sides are covered, right? Where this
I
one
see.
covers like with one ward you can see both sides a little better. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, I shouldn't have gone through here, right?
It's okay to walk through here. I think it's just where is it? Let me go back a little bit. Um, right here. I
Yeah.
think this is fine. You just want to. Mm, mm, no, it's fine. Like
Okay.
it's just you got clipped by the skill shot, but like you
Okay.
don't take too much damage. You have Dorn's shield, which is gonna heal you up. She's using
Okay.
mana for it. Like you still have a potion. I think it's okay.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
because you would it would have taken too long if you went the other way around. So
Yeah, I just wanted to keep the
mhm.
pressure on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's when I think you want to be a bit more patient. So the reason why is like Neeko, you kind of have her on the ropes right now, right? Because she's like half health. Like you're in a very winning position here, right? But you
Mm.
can't do too much if you shove in the wave, and then she's like just allowed to sit under tower, right?
Oh, I get it. And she's safer, right?
Yeah, she's safe to sit under tower if you keep pushing the wave in, right? So she's
Yeah.
pretty happy if you're hitting the wave at the moment. But if you're a little bit
Mm.
patient and you wait like 30 seconds or so, naturally, so if the minions are even like 3 to 3 like this, right? It means the next minion wave that comes is going to arrive first, right? Does that make sense?
Mm.
So because the next wave that's coming in, you can see it on your
'Cause you're
like
closer to the
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because they
Mm.
arrive first, they're gonna hit these first, and naturally,
Mm.
it's gonna push towards you because of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, plus she's hitting it too
And yeah,
on top
and
of that.
she's yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and she's hitting it. So like all those
Yeah.
things together, like result into the wave like coming more towards this side of the
The
lane,
middle.
right? And then
Yeah.
that's when you can look to start getting your kills. Because it's really hard to kill people when they're just stuck under this. Like even like
Yeah.
I can't kill anyone that's stuck under like this. But what I
Okay.
like to do is I shove them in, have the wave bounce back, and then you can look for opportunities.
I get it. Okay.
Okay.
So for this, just let the minions
Yeah,
do
just
it,
let them
right?
do their
Or
thing.
yeah.
Yep. So you don't
Okay.
want to touch anything. Here you're doing it a little
You're
bit, but
letting
yeah.
you're letting her extend basically. That's what you're
Yeah,
doing,
exactly. You're
right?
letting her come towards you. Like here, like see how you cue the wave again? Like we don't want to do
Yeah.
anything. We want to
Got
chill.
it.
We want to let him come in. He's like screwing
Okay.
himself over pretty hard here by hitting it.
Yeah.
Yep. We can just wait and then And then see like a good thing to always look at is like where your minion wave is. Like, okay, when's the next minion wave gonna arrive? Because it's always gonna be the same on both sides, right? It's like
Yeah,
it's always gonna be parallel. So he's like, okay, I have time, right? The next minion wave's
yeah,
gonna arrive soon. Like, I can chill.
that
Like,
makes
this is good.
sense.
You're doing it
Okay.
more here. You're like starting to do it more. This is good. And then here we keep the minion wave. Like, we don't need to touch this anymore. It's gonna stay, right? Like, we want to just keep this here.
Oh, okay.
So this is good.
I get it.
Like this. And
But
then
even
now,
that one that I'm missing, what about that one? Like, just let it die or go last
oh,
hit
you
it?
just last hit it with auto. Yeah, you just like, but see how you're using your abilities to like shove it fast here? Like, we don't
Oh,
need to
I
do
get it.
this. We need to just keep it here and then focus on using our abilities on her. Because she's in a really vulnerable
Oh,
position now for two reasons.
yeah,
One, if your jungler wasn't disconnected, which she doesn't know he's disconnected, but if he was on the map, he could potentially look for a gank because it's a lot easier to gank when the wave is here because you have so much
yeah,
more room to chase her down, right? And
yeah,
Rumble especially, he's one of the champions or one of the few champions that the direction you're facing is really important because of your Q, right? So Rumble is
yeah,
really good at chasing people, but he's really bad at running away from people. So you
yeah,
want to have as much room as you can to run people down, and you
yeah.
can create these opportunities by allowing the waves to shove into you so that you can kind of control the area in like these sort of spaces rather than these spaces.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I want to keep the wave a little bit more on my side, and then
Mhm.
like make the choice if I need to use my Q,
Yeah.
use it on the minions and the enemy kind of thing.
Yeah, or even just the enemy. Like if you can keep the wave here in this like sort of centralized zone, um
Oh,
then
okay.
it
So I position
benefits you.
myself on the side then?
Yeah, you
That's what you're
can
saying?
position your so how I like to think of it is if so here we see that Olaf is on Scuttlecrab because like it's losing HP, right? So in
Yeah.
these kind of situations, we want to position on this side of the lane, right?
Okay.
But then at the beginning of the game, normally if you're on blue side, you want to consider positioning on this side because you know he's going to start with these camps, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you want
I
to
see.
position yourself on the opposite side of where you think the jungler is going to be.
Okay.
Because that way, like if he does gank you, you have like the more time to react to running away. Whereas if
Yeah.
you're like, let's say, if this wasn't warded, you're standing here and then he ganks you, like the distance is really short, right? But if you're
Short.
positioning
Yeah.
yourself on this side, then he has to walk all the way this way to get to you. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay.
So here, I think this like situations like this is a good time to check what's happening up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like here, you have some downtime. Like Neeko's not really in the distance of hitting you right now, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't need to worry about that too much. So what I would want you to do in this situation is like, okay, my top laner is getting ganked, like something's happening. Maybe if I can back off far enough, I can TP to this play and we can make something happen, right? But we don't
Oh,
know
I
if
see.
that's like we can't really consider that option right now because we aren't looking at it.
It's too
So
busy. Yeah.
yeah. So something worth considering is like when you have downtime like this where you're like keeping this distance, you aren't gonna get hit, like you know you're safe. Just quickly like look at the side lane, click on the mini map a little bit, and
Mm,
see what's happening.
I
Because
see.
that's a big benefit of having teleport is you can just arrive to these plays and people won't be expecting it. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And like if I like how I attack those three minions there all at once with the Q,
Mm-hmm.
should I have last hit them instead?
Oh, where? Sorry.
Like auto, sorry.
Right here.
Like when you said I should be looking at the top, right? Back off
Mm-hmm.
a bit.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know what
Those
I mean?
those minions weren't gonna die, so you can just like leave them there for a little bit. It's gonna take
Okay.
time for those minions to die because your wave was really small. So,
I see.
hmm
So basically just try to use auto attack as much as I can, auto and E.
yeah, for the last hitting, and then try to prioritize Q for when you want to shove the wave and when you want to trade. Because sometimes you
Got
want to
it.
shove the wave, like when we mentioned earlier, where it's like, okay, there's nothing to do here. Let's shove the wave in and then get a ward down, right? Like those kind of
Yeah.
situations, queuing's good. Um, but like here, like there's no minions that can kill this at the moment, right? So we want to
Okay.
leave it here. We don't want to touch it. We just want to leave them here. So then when the next wave arrives, which is in a few seconds, right? Now they arrive. Like here, we don't want to queue. Here we just want to leave
Oh,
it
okay.
because what it's going to do is the wave is going to now your blue minions are going to stop here to start fighting these guys, right? And
Yeah.
then his next wave is going to come and it's also going to stop here. So now like the zone that like you guys are going to fight in is now in like this area, right?
Mm,
Rather
I
than if
see.
you were to kill this, then the zone you're fighting in is this area here. But
Okay.
we want this area because we have more room to run this guy down. And if your jungler wasn't disconnected, then he can look for ganks a lot easier, right?
And I also have protection of the tower too, right?
Yep, exactly. So you're harder to gank. It's easier to get ganks from your jungler because the Neeko has to walk all the way up here,
I
and
see.
you also have more room
Okay.
to run her down. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
So here is
Yeah,
when. Oh, sorry. Good.
no, I'm just gonna say like auto attacking with Rumble took a lot of work. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was using Q for so many matches,
Yep. Yep.
and then yeah,
Auto attacking is definitely something that you'll have to start getting used to.
yeah, your
Um,
CS is really good, even
thank
with
you.
your Q. It's really nice.
It takes some time. Rumble's one of the harder champions to practice last hitting on. So, um,
That's what I heard, yeah.
mhm.
Because you know one thing too, like I'm telling you, I actually feel a difference with the skin because when I use
Mm,
the regular one, like
yep.
when you do the auto attack, it's just more
Yeah, this is a
cleaner for the.
yeah, this is a much cleaner animation than the default one for sure. That's why I like
You
using the
know,
skin a lot.
no, what I'm saying is like with this one, the last hit, because
Mhm.
sometimes it's the drill when it's like overheated, but then
Mhm.
it's the slap, right? The
Yeah.
drill slap kind of.
Mhm.
So I'm just
Oh.
saying, like with the other one, it's like it has that club, right? With the
Yeah, it's
original
just a
one.
bonk.
Yeah, and that one's a little easier for some reason for
I could see
last
that.
hitting.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
understandable. I think it's like whatever you get used to. Um,
Yeah, you're right.
okay.
Yeah.
So this situation, right? I don't think
Mhm.
you should feel the need to flash yet. Even though it's like I know he just like came up on you and you only have a few like milliseconds to react to this, but you should
Yeah.
understand that this guy isn't going to be very strong yet because he hasn't recalled,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
He's basically zero items because he's a jungler. This person
Mhm.
has no mana, right? So she can't really
Oh, yeah.
contribute to this, right?
Got it.
So what you could even do is you could ult like this on top of
Okay.
yourself, right? If
Yeah.
you are on top of yourself, now he has to walk inside of your ult. You're level 6 versus level 5. You can win this. She can't really do
Yeah.
anything because she can only auto attack. And you can maybe even
Yeah.
kill this guy and then walk out
Yeah, I
in this
do that a
situation.
lot
Hmm.
actually. I use DR as a safety zone. Yeah.
Yeah. So here, I would like you to see, or like you to like ult here. Just look to
Alt
fight this
here.
guy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this guy too much because we should understand that he
Yeah.
really can't do anything. And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, that does make a lot of
But
sense.
you again, you had very little time to react to that, so it's something that'll develop
Yeah.
more over time as you play more games and you get more comfortable in these kind of situations. Like,
Like
yeah,
processing it quicker. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
No, you're right. It makes sense for sure though, but it does make sense.
Hmm.
I'll remember that. Because the main thing is like how you said you got her flash, so that's okay. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
they got my flash, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So now you're more susceptible to
My
getting
son always
ganks
tells
and
me
stuff.
that too.
Hmm.
He goes, "Don't waste it."
Yeah. And then here again, like because she's so out of mana and Olaf is probably back in his jungle now at this point, he probably isn't hanging around anymore. You can stand
Mhm.
more like up because
Mhm.
she like that's the thing I was talking about earlier. Like mana champions, they fully rely on this. It's like it's imagining like playing Rumble, but you're permanently silenced right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
that
like
makes
pretty much
sense.
what she's dealing with. Is she cannot use
Wow.
any skills at all besides auto attacks.
Yeah.
So like you can really just walk up to her and she can't do anything about it. But then when you
I never
keep this
thought of
kind of
that.
distance, it's like she's free to do whatever, right?
Interesting. Yeah, I never
Hmm.
thought of it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like me being overheated. I
Yeah,
only have
exactly.
auto attacks.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
she doesn't even get the empowered auto attacks. She's just she's just a minion right now. She's
Okay.
literally just one of these
A
ranged
minion.
minions with more HP right now. Like,
Oh my god. Okay, that makes sense.
yeah. So when you see situations like this, I want you to be like really aggressive and really up in their face because um yeah, they really
Yeah.
can't do anything back to you. So these are the
No, it
moments
makes
that you want to
sense.
punish the most.
Okay. Even there, I should have last hit.
That was okay because the
Well,
wave you can push in a little bit. It's okay to last hit there, but it's also okay to keep
plus
because
I'm
I think
going
you're trying
back
to
too.
recall, right? Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
The other benefit of sorry, I should have talked about this earlier. When so a big benefit of having TP over Ignite. So we know that she has Ignite right now, right?
Yeah.
So something that we can consider is if you're ever TP versus Ignite, you can use the TP really early on because what the benefit of that is like if you push the wave in to turret, like
Yeah.
let's find a situation where you do that. Okay, this isn't one of them. Okay, somewhere. Okay, this is also not really a situation. Let's say like okay, let's say you kill this minion wave here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It goes. What you could do here is you could recall, teleport back, right? Now you have an item
Yeah.
advantage. She's stuck with in lane with no mana. She has to recall, walk all the way back, and you get a lot of XP lead off that.
So do I push it before I go?
Yeah, you want to push this so that you're not missing out on any minions. Um,
Do I do I time it so that it's the cannon wave or does it matter?
it so the cannon wave. The reason why you recall on a cannon wave is see this guy here, the
Yeah.
cannon, right? He's gonna tank
Yeah.
the tower a lot longer than these minions here. So when you have teleport, it's not
Oh.
really relevant because like you're just gonna teleport back anyways. So the reason you like to recall on cannon waves when you don't have teleport is because like, let's say this guy recalled 15 seconds earlier, right? And he's just
Yeah.
walking back to lane now. This cannon is going to tank the tower for a lot longer. So then he actually has time to come back and catch the wave. Where if the cannon wasn't there, then
Oh.
the turret would kill this guy, would kill this guy, would kill this guy, would kill this guy,
That makes
and
sense.
then
Yeah.
he would miss all these minions, right? But then if it's a cannon, like,
Okay.
yeah, he won't miss any minions because the cannon will be tanking it the whole
So
time.
if I have TP, it doesn't matter, but if I
Yeah,
don't, then
exactly, yeah.
then do
Mm-hmm.
it on the cannon. Okay.
Yep, cannon is ideal. Um,
Okay, I get it. That
mhm.
makes sense.
But yeah, here we could be looking to get a reset off and then TP back so that she's stuck in lane with us. Because imagine if you had spend like 1,000 gold right now already, and
Yeah.
you'd already be back in lane, and she's forced to fight you like with this health, this HP, no items. Like you would just kill her. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, true.
there's no way she can. Either you're killing
That's
her
true.
or she's has to recall and miss a bunch of minions. So either way, it's a win-win scenario.
You know what
But
I do sometimes? Sometimes
mhm.
I queue the person and the wave, and then I go
Yeah,
back.
that's good. That's ideal.
That, that's okay?
Yep,
Okay.
that's good.
Just because sometimes it ends up sitting too long, and then I just feel
Hmm.
like I should just use it.
Yeah. Like I think this was
Okay.
one of the situations where we should have recalled a little bit sooner,
Yeah.
and then potentially even look to use our TP to come back and then force her to stay because
Okay.
she was in a really tough scenario for a long time, but we didn't get to punish it too much.
Yeah.
So we would probably want to look to fight her a little more or get a reset off so that we can have an item advantage or something to force her in a more uncomfortable situation because she's running
I
out of
see.
mana and her wave isn't in a good spot either. So this is like one of those scenarios again where we're just like,
Same thing.
yeah, we don't need to hit this too much. Like we're kind of chilling
Yeah.
here,
A
let her walk
habit.
up.
See?
Hmm. Yep. But
Yeah.
these are habits that you can point out now, and then you can start to recognize like when you're doing them, right? So
Yeah.
it should help you in the long run.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
Another thing I suggest doing is it's like nothing to do with your gameplay, but taking nameplates off I find is actually really helpful. Um, and there's been a few studies done. Reason why is because like your eyes are made to see text really easily, right? So
Oh.
a lot of times like you'll like just notice these name tags and you're not really paying attention to other things, and
Oh,
that kind of like takes your focus away from the game. So I recommend
okay,
take in the settings and interface settings taking the nameplates off, and if you are gonna have
okay.
nameplates on, then just put the champion name instead of your usernames, because
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, then you can identify which characters are what easier, or yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah, it's
nameplates itself
true.
just doesn't really do too much. It just like it's more just a distraction over anything. So
That's a good point,
yeah.
actually. Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. Okay,
Mhm.
I'll change that.
Mhm. Yeah, if you
I'll just
think
put the
about it,
champion name.
yeah, champion name's fine too. Um,
Yeah,
cause
because you're right. I have trouble identifying sometimes.
mhm. Cause like imagine if you're like in a MMA match, right? And there's just a constant like, you know,
Yeah.
Conor McGregor or something just above his head the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be distracting, right? Like you wouldn't want that.
No, for sure. No, that's so true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like kind of the same idea where it's like doesn't really give you anything other than just being in the way. So yeah.
That's funny. That's so true, though. This Gragas did pretty good.
Yeah, he was doing good. Here's a
Not
situation
there.
actually where
Not there,
we
but
could maybe, yeah, but maybe we could look. Where is
I
it?
could have planned to be up there, right?
I was gonna suggest like if you look right now, right? If you're looking
Mm,
right here, maybe we
yeah.
can drop teleport right here. If we start
Onto
channeling,
the minions.
yeah, just teleport right here,
Oh, yeah,
and then you
yeah.
could probably join this fight and then 2v2 with him, right?
Mm,
Like these are the kind of
yeah.
situations where teleport is really really useful over ignite
Yes.
because like especially when you're like playing against newer players as well or like lower MMR players, they aren't ever thinking about teleport, right? All
Yeah.
that's in their brain right now is like kill this guy. He's he's 1v2, right? But all
Yeah.
of a sudden if
That's
a teleport comes dropping down, they go like, "Oh shit." Like
start
we're
to
in
panic.
trouble. Like it's 2v2 all of a sudden. So, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you want to look for these opportunities like this where you're too far to walk, but you're closest, but your teleport can channel and you can be there in time.
Plus,
So
he's 9 and I'm 8, so should have an
yeah,
advantage.
exactly. You guys should win that really
Yeah.
easily, actually.
And I have my R.
Mm-hmm. I think you
Yeah, good
kill the
thinking.
Olaf here, right? Yeah, that was a good R. I like that. You got the minions and the players at the same time.
Hmm.
I think here this was good up till this point, and then we want to wait a few seconds. So you don't want to keep chasing. You want to like maybe walk up this way or something.
Yeah.
So then, you get out of the minion wave, and then also like you can wait for your cooldowns to come back up.
Yeah.
So you want to just like walk up into the bush, and then if you walk into the bush, these minions don't hit you anymore. They just kind of ignore
Oh,
you and they
yeah.
keep walking forward, right? And
Yeah.
then what this guy will probably do is he'll still probably want to fight you, right? So then
Yeah.
you just be a little patient, walk him to the bush, and then all of a sudden these minions that probably did about like 300 to 400 damage to you just now, like,
Oh,
you
that
know,
much? Holy
probably like
crap.
around 300 damage. So you'd probably have about let's see here. You'd
I think I have
probably be
800.
around like this HP right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then if you're at this HP, I think you can actually win this fight. But
And
the
I could have
minions,
hit my
like,
potion too.
you have this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Like,
Yeah.
they're all bang, like they're all hitting you right now. So
Yeah.
ganging up on you.
Plus
So
another thing too, like I have a bad habit of clicking to upgrade the abilities.
that was another thing I had written down in
Yeah.
notes. Yeah. If you can
Yeah.
get in the habit of leveling up your skills without that, it's a really good
Yeah.
habit to break. Because
Yeah.
like
I'm trying
if
to.
you think about the logic, is like why you don't want to move your mouse away from where you are
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
just yeah. Another thing you can work on a little bit too with your mouse movement is you do it like pretty good, like a lot better than a lot of the newer players I see. But so you want to keep your mouse in close like proximity to your character
Mhm.
because like here you're doing a really good job of it, right? Because you can turn on a dime a lot faster. But
Yeah.
sometimes, occasionally, you'll click out like way out here, and that's like a habit you could consider breaking too.
Yeah.
Because it's like something like here's a good example, but I'm sure like later on we'll see
Yeah.
places where you click like really far out, and then you just want to keep your mouse close in.
The problem is like I started this new habit of dragging. That's
Yeah,
the
you want to click for sure. Here dragging's okay
yeah.
because nothing's happening, right?
Okay.
Here dragging's fine, but clicking is a lot more precise. So and you
Okay,
can make like micro adjustments a lot better.
I see.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess if you're dragging, you don't really know how far you're going all the
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
That makes sense. Okay, so I'll just try to stick to mostly clicking then, or
Yeah.
just all.
Clicking is a lot better habit to be in than dragging
Okay.
because you can always make adjustments with clicking. Where dragging, you have to move your mouse like um what's like a good way of explaining it? Like if you're turning, then and you're turning from here to here, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Your character will do like also like a turn. Your character will go like this.
Oh,
You know what I
I
mean?
get it.
Where if you
That's a good
click
point.
from here to here, it'll just like immediately start walking this direction.
It's
You know
like
what I
you're
mean?
pulling them instead of directing them,
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly. If you like,
Yeah.
if you pull it, like if you're pulling it like this, what the game is registering, it's like click, 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 click. You know,
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
the game thinks you're doing. But you're just doing
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
fast. That what it ends up doing is kind of just like a quick little like sharp turn. But
Yeah, I'll stop for
yeah.
sure.
Hmm. But like I said, if you're just walking to lane or like doing something like that, then um,
Yeah,
mhm.
not in gameplay though.
Yeah, in
I get it.
gameplay, like you want to break that habit and just look to
Okay.
click here. Another thing we can work on too is so when you recall like this, right? A good
Mm-hmm.
tip I like to have is you walk to the end of the fountain first before you do anything, so that when
Okay.
you buy items, you're so like we'll just watch how you buy items here. But see, like you're full HP already. You have like a lot of downtime, right?
Yeah.
And we're still in base. It's been like 10 seconds now. We're still in
Oh,
base.
that far? Usually I just go like to the end of the first step.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
go all the
okay.
way to here.
Oh, okay.
So this like little layer here,
Yeah.
you can go anywhere here and you're still like good to go. So
Okay, I didn't
you
know.
can just
Okay.
step here. You're still healing. You're still buying items. Like all this is still applying, and then
Okay.
you go a lot faster, right? It's just
I
something
got
to
it.
consider. Yeah.
Little advantage. Yeah, makes
Hmm.
sense.
Which like you want to find these little advantages because sometimes they have big payoffs, right?
Oh,
Sometimes it
yeah.
just helps you get to something a little bit faster, and then that's the difference between a kill or not, or catching the minion wave or
Yeah,
not. Like yeah.
makes sense.
Hmm. So at this point in the game, we want to start impacting the map a little bit more. Because Rumble's
Okay.
a really good. You would agree, like Rumble likes team fighting, right? He likes grouping and
Yeah.
fighting. So
Yeah.
here's situations where you just want to like shove the wave, cue the wave, and then get off the map and look to make plays somewhere. And
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
like to do around this point in the game. Where how deep are we in? About 15 minutes. Like we don't need to be in lane so much anymore.
I see.
Yeah. Here you
And
missed the ulti, but that's okay.
let's say if I took the tower,
Hmm.
then like do I go for the second tower or do I
That's
just
when
start
you
roaming?
look to try to make roaming plays around the map. But you can do that without
Okay.
the towers as well. Um,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
So the benefits of having pink, remember we talked about putting pinks in these bushes earlier?
Yeah.
So the another benefit of that is pink shows if there's an enemy ward there as well. And if you know there's
Mm.
no ward there, then it just gives you free reign to walk through without knowing without with no the knowledge of like you're not spotted kind of thing.
And if their
Yeah.
ward's there, like, and I put mine,
Hmm.
do I need to destroy theirs or no?
Yeah, probably
Is it
destroy
already
it
covered?
is the right call.
Okay.
The only time you wouldn't want to destroy it is if you don't know where the enemy jungler is, and then your mid laner is moving towards you suspiciously. You might just want to dip and be like, "Okay,
Okay.
I'm not hanging around here anymore." Like,
I get
yeah.
it. That
Hmm.
makes sense.
Um, forget what happens here.
See there, I just got in the middle of all of them. I need to get to one side.
Hmm. The R was good because I told you to R the minion wave, and you did that well. Because you get him,
Yeah.
and then so the reason I tell you to R the wave here is what it's really obvious what they're trying to do right now. What they want to do is they want to take this tower, right? But
Yeah.
you have very little to no help. You have this Shinzao that's really weak that's coming in, and you're kind of on your own. But what
Yeah.
alting this minion wave does is now they only have this guy to tank. They don't have the minion wave coming in.
Uh,
So,
got it.
but what I would have rather have seen is if you ult this way, like this,
Oh, okay.
because then this hits them and it also kills the minions as they walk through. Because the minions still have to walk through the width of this area here,
Oh,
and that'll
yeah.
still kill. But then you still cover off this at the same time. So,
Yeah, you get a lot
mhm,
more. Okay,
yeah. So in these kind of situations, look to alt like this, and then see how the
that
minion
makes
wave's dead.
sense.
They can't come anymore. I think
Yeah,
this is
that would
good.
have been good.
Yeah, this was good too. Except we just walked up a little bit too far. I think if you kept your position here, it would have forced these guys to walk in a little bit further, and then that could have been good.
Yeah,
But I think
because
you
I
just
had to.
noted the same thing, so it's not
Yeah,
anything you
I
don't
just
know.
went in too deep.
Yeah, just a little bit too deep. But that's the thing about League, right? It's like, I mean, fighting too. You just make the smallest micro area,
Oh
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
smallest adjustment, and it could be
Oh
lights
yeah.
out or or you
Yep.
winning.
100%.
Hmm.
It's finished. It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest thing with martial arts, if you
Hmm.
go the ring or the octagon,
Yeah.
is controlling. Is positioning.
Hmm.
Very very important.
Yeah. And
Positioning,
this, yeah.
cutoffs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And in lane, we can go over it really quickly. We'll go back to the laning phase.
Yeah.
Um, so I think you watched one of the videos earlier where I talked about it, but these are like the pockets of the lane, right?
Yeah.
And the benefits of these things, I'll just go over it really fast, is like if you naturally like if you're controlling this area, they want to stand on this side, right? They never
Oh.
rarely do they want to stand on the same side as you because it
Okay.
just gives you free reign to hit them, right? The only
Yeah.
time they're gonna want to position on the same side is if they're gonna attack you. So
Okay.
it's kind of this weird like dance that goes on where you position on this side, you go this side. If you move down, they move up, right? If you move this way, they
Mm.
move this way. Like it's kind of back and forth the whole way. But then if you
Yeah.
stand in the middle, then it's kind of good for them because they get to hit the minions and you at the same time. So
Oh.
typically you kind
Okay.
of want to stand on these sides. But you also have to keep in mind where the jungler is, right? Because if you're standing on this side and he can gank you, it could be bad, right? We saw that earlier when he had to like flash right away here, because you
Yeah.
had no time to react. But if you're on this side and then he came, you would have been like maybe more time to process. Like, wait, I can actually kill this guy. Like, he can't kill me,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
True.
Um, and another reason the pockets are so important is because it can set up the jungler really well. So let's say I know like he's not here right now because level one, but just for the sake of what I'm
Yeah.
explaining, let's say Shinzao is actually let's get a little bit better position here where you're like where's like a good yeah like somewhere like here. Let's say Shinzao right now he wants to gank from this side, right? Let's say
Yeah.
this is the angle he wants to come from. So what do you think you should do to position yourself to make Shinzao's
Oh,
life easier?
if Shinzao is attacking from that side,
Hmm. Let's say he wants to come in from
then
through this way.
then I would whenever I see a gang coming,
Hmm.
I usually try to get on this side.
Like
Like
this.
so I'll come over here and I'll kind of creep my way over here.
Okay. So
Can you see
you
my mouse?
no, I can't see it right now.
Oh, okay. Over to their pocket on the bottom.
Yep, that's correct. So you want to move this side here, like this, kind of
Yeah.
like at a looping angle, right? Naturally, this
Yeah.
guy's like, okay, this guy's getting too close to me. I'm getting uncomfortable. I need to move over here, right? Is what he's
Yeah.
thinking. And then boom,
Yeah.
Same, obviously, same thing applies this way. If he's trying to gank this way, like,
I see.
yeah, looping around like that is a really, really good habit to get into, especially when you're newer to the game. If you can implement that now, because it sets
Yeah.
up the jungler so much better than if you were to just walk at him straight.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it gives it away.
Mhm. Exactly.
And I try to make it look like I'm doing something else, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like overloading their brain kind of with false
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, where were we?
Sometimes I make it look like I'm trying to roam or something, and
Mhm.
I just try to. But it's sometimes it works out, sometimes
Yep.
it doesn't, as usual.
Oh yeah, that's another good point
Yeah.
actually. Sometimes like you can just go like after you're done shoving a wave and there's nothing to do, like there's no reason for you to stick around anymore. You can just like
Yeah.
sit in the bush and then their whole team panics like, "Wait, where's Rumble?" Like, is he coming
Oh,
bottom? Like,
really?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I
Cuz
didn't
if
even
you think
think of
about it
that.
from the enemy's perspective, right? Like they don't know that you're just sitting in the bush next to your mid lane. Like
Yeah,
they
that's
have
so
no
true.
idea where you are, right? So that might force enemy sidelines to be like, okay, I need to back off here. Like Rumble's gonna come kill me here. He's been gone for too long.
Uh,
Like, but maybe
I
you're
get
just
it.
maybe you're just sitting in the bush like out of vision.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, that's smart. Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes I do that to the top lane if I see them pushing too much.
mm-hmm,
I'll just like move up a little bit,
yeah, no,
make
like,
them think I'm coming.
yeah, yeah. These things are really good habits to start getting into. Because they're small things that you can add to your game that make a big impact for your team
Should,
because you're really
should
helping
I
them a lot by doing that.
should I always like upgrade the W last? Because there was a time when I used to do
I
the E last,
I
you
think
know?
W last is beneficial most of the time because W has the worst scaling out of all your abilities. It
Oh,
gives you
okay.
like a little bit extra shield, but it doesn't give you any
Yeah,
cooldown. So it's still gonna be the same like 6 seconds, regardless of if you're putting points into it or not. Where your Q
yeah,
like starts at 10 seconds, but if you put points into it, it goes down to 6, so it's a lot better. And then E gives more damage, so it's like W always felt like the worst one to level up because it just
yeah,
kind of
makes
gives you the
sense.
same thing, but a bit more shield, and it's like doesn't feel
So
that
definitely
beneficial. Yeah.
all the Qs first, right? Not
Yeah, Q almost
Q3.
first, like pretty much all the
Okay,
time. Pretty much Q
okay,
E W like in that order every single time. The only difference is you
okay.
can sometimes start leveling up with 1 point in E first at level 1 if the matchup's like
Yeah.
really hard. Like if it's a Nazir or Oriana or like even Zoe is one of them where it's like I can't walk up at all level 1, like, she's just gonna poke me
Okay.
out. Like I'm just gonna sit back and farm with my E kind of thing.
Oh, so then you just
Yeah.
keep upgrading your E more?
Oh no, you just put 1 point into it, but you just start at level 1, and then the rest after that you just start leveling up Qs. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
get it.
because you know how
That
you
makes
always
sense.
start with Q level 1. You were saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that in
yeah.
like something like Zoe is like one of the matchups where like starting E is not too bad because you're just gonna take too much damage level 1 if you try to walk up to her anyways. So it's like okay, like I'm just gonna sit back and farm minions with my E until I'm level 3 kind of thing. Yeah.
Zoe and like any ranged kind of thing, or
Like Oriana's a really hard one, right? Um,
yeah,
Azir's a really hard one.
yeah,
Neeko honestly might be pretty hard sometimes, but that Neeko was she
yeah.
walked up like right on your face, so
This one
it didn't.
wasn't hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, makes
Mhm.
sense. Should I just start with the just with everyone for a bit? Just is that a better recommendation?
No, I think starting Q is usually what I do most of the time as well. But I'm just saying like
Yeah,
the
I
really
noticed
hard
that.
matchups is when I start E because I know I'm gonna get shoved in, and it's like
Got it.
if I can't
Okay.
do anything level 1 anyways, having E is better because I can just hit minions from really far away. So
Yeah,
yeah.
makes sense. Okay, that
Hmm.
sounds good.
And another habit you can get into a little bit better is see how when you're moving from place to place, it's good that you're spamming W because it gives you move speed. But you can
Yeah.
also press Q here and start prepping your heat to get to like 50, so that when you
Okay.
arrive, it's at 50. And then you know how like when you're above 50, you get a bunch of additional bonuses, right? For
Yeah.
Q.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, even though nothing's around you, you can start prepping Q, get your heat up a little bit because you don't want to start going into the fight at 0. You want to try to start going in with 50 if you can.
Yeah.
Um, this is something that's going to take a lot of time to get used to, but if you are
Yeah.
planning on maining Rumble, it's something that you need to
Okay.
work on for sure. Yeah.
Like with the other skins, I'm good at like overheating to have that burst,
Mhm.
with the Q.
Yep.
But but the thing is, like with this one, it's a little difficult. And also,
I see.
yeah, because it masks a lot of the like the sloppiness.
Mhm. Mhm.
But with this one, like the thing is that I overheat a lot, it seems like.
Hmm.
Like is that bad? Like
Mm. Like here,
or is it
overheating is kind of
normal?
pointless, right? Like here,
Yeah.
this is good. This is fine because you're fighting. That's okay.
Hmm.
And the thing about overheating is like if you overheat with all your abilities on cooldown, like they'll be back up by the time your overheat's done anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
Okay.
something like I think you're about to do it here, maybe.
Yeah, in your video you mentioned this too.
Yeah.
Like going in when you're like
Hmm.
silenced basically.
Yeah. Like here, for example, it's like here we don't need to overheat at all, right? Because it's just
Yeah,
like nothing's happening. We just want to let the heat drop to 50 and then we press W or something like that.
because now I gotta heat it up again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like
Um,
I actually did better in like other games where I just kept it cool. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't overheat at all.
Yeah, I
Like it
think
was that much difference.
yeah, overheating is definitely not a bad thing, especially when you're looking to all in people because the auto
Okay.
attacks hurt so much when you're overheated. So like it really,
Yeah,
if
that's what
you're
I'm
in range
thinking.
to hit people like that, it's a good thing. But yeah, this was a hard fight for sure. Let's watch what happens though. Okay, the fight's about to start here, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Maybe in this situation, because you have teleport, you can be on duty to clear these minions, so that when a fight
Mhm.
starts, you can just teleport in. Cause see how
Oh, I
like in
see.
your base, there's a bunch of minions that need to be kind of killed, otherwise your
Mhm.
base goes away right now.
Mm,
So maybe
makes
this is
sense.
your duty to hit these minions until a fight starts and teleport in. I think that's could be
Makes
good.
sense.
Yeah. Here, I think we want to alt like more this way.
Yeah, I missed. Hecarim's so hard to predict.
Yeah, he is a really fast champion.
Yeah, I shouldn't have
Um,
came back.
Yeah, I think you just try to delay as much time as you can and run here.
Yeah,
But it was a really hard fight to begin with because they had four people and he only had two. So maybe the problem
yeah,
wasn't that we fought, or the more maybe the bigger problem was like the fact that we fought. Maybe we should have just backed away
yeah.
from the beginning. Yeah, and then that's pretty much game over from there. Yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I can explain to you that could be beneficial? I think that's.
That was a
Yeah,
lot.
that was a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's good.
like yeah, I think you covered a lot. Yeah.
Right.
Some of the stuff my son already tells me, but there was
Hmm.
other like more technical, like more not technical, but like more positioning
Yeah,
with
positioning
Rumble
will
and
get you
more.
really far at first because it's something that newer players don't do. So you can um, abuse like positioning and use it to your advantage a lot because like mechanics are something that can only develop through practice, right? You have to play like
Yeah,
hundreds and thousands of games until your like mechanics are really crisp. You're last hitting really well.
yeah,
You're hitting all your skill shots. Like you're overheating at the right times. Like these are things that like coaching can't really do too much. It's really just like player experience. But
yeah, for
positioning is
sure.
something that I can teach and then you can apply and, stuff like wave management, like letting the minions come in and stuff like that's all stuff that
Mm,
you can learn and start applying to your games and it should help a lot. So,
that makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Um,
Okay, this is great. Yeah, this
yeah.
is
I
really
hope it
good.
was helpful.
Oh, it was really, really helpful. Yeah, I
Good.
remember a lot.
I'm glad.
I'll retain as
Mhm.
much as I can.
Yeah, I recorded the VOD review part of the session, so I will upload that to like a private YouTube video and then send you the link so that if you ever want to go
Okay,
back and review anything that you might have forgotten or missed or whatever,
that'll
then
be good.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you. That's
yeah, no
great.
worries.
That's
Um,
great.
yeah, that's all I really
So,
got for you. But if you have any
no, that's
questions,
great. That's a lot. Thank
mm-hmm,
you. So, I was just gonna ask you then, should I like as far as playing ranked, right?
mm-hmm.
Like how often do you think I should play?
Um, is ranked something that you want to climb in? Because it's definitely the
Yeah,
fastest way to improve, in my opinion. Because you're always going to be matched against people relatively around your skill level, and then you can watch yourself progress. Like, oh, these guys are easy now. Let me like move up. It's a
exactly.
good way to do
Yeah,
that. Where normals, it can be really random the kind of teammates you're getting. Um,
that's the thing. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Mm,
that's what I was thinking. So then try to play more ranked then, I guess, right? To get
yeah.
better?
I don't think I think you should play more ranked, and you shouldn't be worried about your win rate or anything like that at first because you're still learning anyways. So
Mhm.
just like cons- think about ranked as like, okay, this is the lobby where I'm gonna be matched against the people most similar to me, and then I get
Yeah.
to test myself the best, and think that'll be like a good way to improve. You can think of like
Yeah, 'cause I'm
normals as like your training ground, and then like
Yeah,
ranked as like
exactly.
sparring kind of, you know?
No, that
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense.
So maybe play like a few ranked games a day. Like if you start to get like tired or like feel like you're not on today, then go play some normals. Like but if you're feeling good,
Okay.
like hop into ranked and be confident about it. And yeah, it's like don't worry about win
Yeah.
rate at all because it doesn't matter at all. And it's just like all about improving. So yeah.
No, you're right. That makes
Hmm.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I started the season pretty bad, but it's okay. I was at bronze 1 before, and then
Hmm.
I got silver in the interim, silver 4.
Okay.
But really, my skill level wasn't there. But
Hmm. That's
it's
something you
okay.
can
It
work
kind of
towards
felt
though.
like it got worse, like
Yeah.
playing with certain players. It sometimes messes you up a little bit too, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I like the rank because yeah, it was better
Yeah. No,
quality player. But
completely
now
agree.
it seems like I'm getting better players matched up against me, even in norms.
Mm.
A
Well, that's
little
not the
better,
worst
not
thing.
today,
It
but
just means you get to get punished by mistakes more often, and you'll learn that way. So,
yeah.
especially
Okay,
where
so
you're at
then
now,
that
learning's the most important. So, yeah.
yeah, so that's good. Then I'll go over that stuff and I'll just start playing, and then maybe we could do another session.
Hmm.
I don't know, whenever you have time,
Yeah.
maybe a week or so,
Yeah.
or
Like give it
whenever
like
you feel.
maybe like a week or two. See if you can apply
Yeah,
any of the things, and if you want to do another session, then you can let me know. And yeah, I'll give it
sure.
like maybe
Yeah,
two
that'd be
weeks.
great.
Just see if you can apply some because the
Yeah,
stuff like this will take time to start applying. So yeah.
2 weeks would be better. That makes
Hmm.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so
Great.
much. It was
Yeah. No
amazing.
worries.
It
It
was
was
really
nice
good.
meeting you too. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Okay, we'll
Have a
keep
nice
in
day.
touch then.
Yeah. Have a
Take
nice
care.
night.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
You too.